We welcome everybody back here live at the Atlanta Motor Speedway, getting set for round number 3. My goodness, we're getting through the season fairly quickly, in my opinion. But round number 3 gonna go into the books here at Atlanta for the iSCAR DeNise Design Series. And my name is Ezeckiel Reyes.
And I'm Dewey Schramm. Disclaimer, it's hot.
It is hot. It's very hot on the racetrack. And Atlanta is known for hot weather. And here we are right now. Oh, not that. That is a race summary panel. Right there. 123 is the track temperature. I mean, Atlanta is known for these conditions. We've seen it on the real life side of things. And here we are sitting in the virtual side of things. It's currently 123 out on the racetrack. It's slick. It's very slick.
I would be totally in favor of leaving the booth during the commercial break and trying to fry an egg on the track.
Oh, man. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if we could. It's really, really hot here tonight. And I'm interested to see on how these drivers will attack this condition out here on the racetrack here for tonight. We'll show intervals here on the left-hand side and see where everybody stands in a practice as of right now. Cody Webster in the number 9 machine holds the top spot. Henry Johnson in second, Aaron Mulrooney in third. iSCAR veterans topping out charts 1, 2, 3. And we'll go ahead and show a bit of points here right in front of your screen as Mulrooney, man who sits third in practice as of right now, tops the charts over Cole Williams, who is one behind.
Yeah, a couple of surprising names up here in this top 10. Just mentioned Cole Williams there. Brandon Lightus currently in 7th. Dane Cruz there in 6th. So some interesting names people may not have expected to really be up there. But, you know, do have a legit shot at going for this championship. Still, of course, 18 races to go, including tonight's. So still plenty of time for various different things to happen and people to go all over the place in the standings. So, this is only, of course, race 3. And this is probably going to be a stark contrast to the Atlanta race that we saw last time around when we were here for the DeNise Design Series. That race went caution-free with Aaron Mulrooney leading all but 12 laps and taking the checkered flag. But looks like we're going to have a full field tonight, so I don't know if we're going to go caution-free again.
Yeah, that's all right. I'm interested to see on how everybody will attack, as well as for Mulrooney, leading points coming in here for tonight. Of course, the latest Atlanta Xfinity Series winner. I'm interested to see on how everybody is going to attack qualifying as well. We're currently in qualifying now, so we'll scoot ourselves to the side and play the national anthem. Rise up, remove your hats as we salute our nation's colors. We welcome everybody back here live for the iSCAR DeNise Designs round number 2 event as qualifying underway. Not a lot of people logging in lap times right now. Everybody's sort of trying to get into a nice rhythm, but man, I'm I'm interested to see on who's going to shuffle themselves into the top 43, because this is actually one of the first times that this qualifying system will show, will show its worth and show. Oh my goodness, Dane Cruz to the top. What?
I don't know if Dane will stay there, but oh, he looks like he may have just gotten the wall on.
He's up in first anyway. I wouldn't even.
Man, that may have been. I mean, we saw where Webster and Mulrooney and Hunter were in practice. I've got to wonder if Dane may have just had a pole lap there with 2 minutes left to go in qualifying, but he's sitting 6th in points coming into tonight. So if he can start off this race in the pole or maybe at least in the top 5, that'd be a good head start for him to try and make his way closer to the top of the board in the standings. But a bit of a surprise there, but also kind of cool.
Yeah, that's right. We have to scroll and feather around this 43rd
cool in the top
position
10 right now too.
That's right. DiMaggio is gonna get the first. He's gonna be the first one booted, and here we go. Cannizzaro gets booted out. Oh, he's actually has a blown motor. He wrecked it during qualifying. Aaron Brown is out. Hunter Rupp's the last person in.
Yeah, still, I think there might be a few people that haven't taken laps yet. Looks like most people have. Looks like 3 people yet to take time.
One of those people, that's the number 12, Hunter Johnson. He's riding right up against the safer barrier to get as much speed as he can.
So for anybody that looks like 34th or higher, looks like they're in for good, and they're locked into tonight. But if I'm hovering around 35th, 36th, or Liam Sheen is, I've got to be a bit concerned, because if everybody that's yet to take time gets a faster lap, they may be out. So it's going to be really close for a couple of these guys towards the bottom of the board, but I'm sure Hunter will set a more than fast enough time here. But I'm curious about the other guys yet to record a lap. So Sean Leisure to the top of the board and Hunter Johnson right behind him. So I was just talking about Leisure was one of those ones that hadn't taken a time yet, and he jumps right to the pole. So
Corey Long is not going to be able to log in a time either.
Looks like Henry Clapper too. Yeah, the front row just changed both positions with less than 20 seconds to go here in qualifying, so looks like that'll do it here. So congratulations to Sean Leisure on picking up his first pole of the iSCAR Winter Series, and it looks like his teammate Hunter Johnson will join him there on the front row. But before we do that, we've got our B main, which looks like will feature 9 cars. So these 9 people looks like they just missed the show. So David Bachman there in the 84, the first car that will not move on.
That's unfortunate for him, as I'm having a bit of ATVO issues. We'll try to get that resolved as we continue on with tonight's broadcast. But yeah, fairly surprised to see some names shuffle into that top 43, because my goodness, Dane Cruz, top 5, great job by him to pull himself a nice qualifying lap into tonight's race.
See Colton Zimmer there. Looks like he's starting second here in this B main. He came into tonight 11th in points, so this is going to be a bit of a hit for him. But you know, one of the reasons why we do run this B main is for the guys that don't make it. It's an opportunity to pick up a few extra points. So for Colton, who's trying to stay in this title hunt, of course, still a long way to go, but you don't want to fall too far behind after a night like tonight. So still some points on the line here for Colton and everybody else here in the field. But it looks like David and Colton will lead us to the field, lead us to the green rather. Looks like Aaron Brown and Cannizzaro behind them. I see Corey. It looks like only 5 people gridded up out of the 9.
Yeah, we've... I don't know how many B main winners or sprint winners we have. I need to keep track, as Corey Long sort of flinging. I mean, that's not Corey Long. That's David Bachman sort of flinging around and such. But this will feature 5 drivers. It's not going to be a big show like what we've seen in the first 3 weeks. That's right.
Yeah. I mean, it is. I mean, you never know. I mean, when it comes down to making the playoffs later on this season. You never know if these 5 points or so in this B main can end up making the difference. That's why we have it here, but pace car will dive its way down pit road, and we're green here for our B main here in Atlanta. And Cannizzaro really spun the tires, but thankfully kept it out of the wall.
This sprint race gives us a preview on how these drivers will try to maneuver around this half-mile track as we get up to speed here. Corey Long in the 95, currently trailing these 4 drivers as of right now, trying to get a handle on the car. But it looks like Corey, I don't think he was even able to log in a lap time, as Aaron Brown's going to be trying that high side. He's not going to go anywhere though, but for all these drivers right here, it is showtime and screen time as well.
Yeah, Corey Long literally just bought Atlanta, like not even an hour ago. So, of course, not a lot of time for him to get some practice down. So the laps he's taking tonight are really the first laps he's ever taken here at Atlanta on iRacing. So not surprised, of course, but tough to see him in the B main. Anyway, Colton Zimmer leads. Still, Bachman trying to get a good draft off of Aaron Brown to take that top spot away. But that 09 still holds strong into 1. And Bachman's going to wash up and almost get into that 151. But Aaron will now look up on the high side for second. He may get a shot from Cannizzaro, but he'll go to the low side anyway.
Cannizzaro shoves it to the low side as Brown's trying to roll the middle side of the racetrack. Well, here with a surface model, I don't think that high side will really be a factor. It's all going to be bottom around Atlanta, which is basically the contrast of what it is in real life, unfortunately. But, I mean, either way, the track conditions itself, it being slippery, is as realistic as it is on the real life counterpart as well. So,
yeah, with how high the track temperature is in the session tonight, you're going to see a lot of sliding around like that during the race. So, one of the best opportunities you guys may have to pass tonight may end up coming from guys sliding up in the middle of the turn and going low coming out of the turn, for all we know. But a bit hard to judge how that will work with just 5 cars in the field compared to, of course, the 43 that we'll have in just a few minutes' time, as Corey's got the wall there out of 2. But you'll definitely see quite a bit of slipping and sliding around. Quite honestly, a slide job is not out of the question here by anybody tonight. Seen him here before. About halfway here through B main, positions look relatively unchanged except for the top 2 spots. Bachman still unable to get back around that 09 of Colton, but Aaron looks like he's regained 3rd from Cannizzaro. So the draft could play a bit of a role here tonight, but again, with only 5 cars, kind of hard to tell how much of a role it could play.
I don't think it's going to be that big of a role, honestly, especially with these lower spoilers. You don't punch as big of a hole into the air as you would in a truck or the cup car. Needlessly, draft is draft, and all these 5 drivers right here are still within a good... Oh, there they... Oh, my goodness.
And Aaron Brown will overtake 2nd place there. And Cannizzaro to 3rd, so a bit of a mishap there from Bachman will cost him 2 spots and 2 points. But that 84 looks like he had a run out of 4, but got the door shut on him by the 74. And that gave Colton a much bigger gap than he had the previous time around. Looks like over a second now. So it looks like smooth sailing for Colton Zimmer for the last 3, as Aaron got the wall and around he goes.
Oh, he tags the inside wall. Looks like he got tight right up off of turn number 2. Bounced off the wall, unfortunately, as Cannizzaro washes up high. 3 wide as Long works himself downstairs to the bottom side. He'll drag up Bachman. On the midst of that, Colton Zimmer is long gone. 2 laps to go, though.
Yes, good move there by Corey to try to get those 2 spots, but Cannizzaro with a good run on the high side, and he'll take over 2nd. But here comes Corey once again on the bottom. Still side by side here out of 2. Bachman still back in 4th. And Corey will try again here into 3. So he gets a good run there on the bottom, but out of 4, I think Cannizaro's going to have a bit of a run on the top side, and they'll be side by side at the line. White flag for Colton Zimmer, who's over 2 seconds ahead of everyone else now. So that 09, I guess, for the B-main has got it made.
Yeah, no doubt about it, as they're still side by side for this position. Seems as though once you get side by side, nowhere to go for the driver right behind him, David Bachman. Really to go. He's sort of boxed in, unless he wants to sail it into the inside and make Corey Long slurp up the racetrack. Oh, speaking of up the racetrack, Bachman. Looks like he got a bit tight. They're going to be side by side for third, but Corey Long will clear. But Colton Zimmer, in the meantime, has won this sprint race. Bachman will get fourth, though.
And a little bit of air there for that 84, but that'll do it here for the 10-lap B-main. So Colton Zimmer will pick up some extra points that he wouldn't have gotten if he didn't show up. So now we'll get to our starting lineup here for, what is this, 85 laps? Something like that? Somewhere around there?
Yeah, it's somewhere around there. Having a bit of ATVO issues as ATVO keeps crashing for some reason.
Fun.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on with ATVO right now, but in the meantime,
you can look at this great view of the Atlanta front stretch.
Yeah.
So we'll get a couple minutes here of happy hour unless the session gets skipped forward. As now you have a beautiful view of pit road. The 31, I think that's Austin Johnson. This may be his first start of the Winter Series, and if that's the case, good to see him back after a bit of an absence from the league. He was pretty strong in the races he ran last season, so definitely cool to see a competitive car back in the iSCAR field. Looks like there we've got ATVO working again.
Yeah, drivers.
It's sort of working, sort of not.
It's getting there. It's getting there. Just let it have its time.
Yeah, it's like an old Windows 7 computer or whatever when you just boot it up and the whole da 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 da, and then it takes 20 minutes for it to actually function. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know all too well about that. But
I know.
yeah, if you have a computer like that, you're probably not running iRacing that well, but that's beside the point. Yeah, happy hour, just a couple extra minutes for guys to get some extra practice in, maybe fix a thing or two they may find off with their cars, but
they could use what they learned from that little race to maybe adjust their lines and such. Who knows? Because that's the first time drivers have been alongside each other. Because we ran a lone practice for that first run.
Race analytics there on the bottom left, center left there of your screen. 1.5 miles here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Looks like pit road speed will be 50 miles per hour. Fuel window 40 to 45, or 45 to 50 laps rather. So probably a one-stop race. And the key here on this screen, 5 tire sets, which I think should be enough for the scheduled distance. But if this is a full-length Atlanta race, five tire sets probably would nowhere near be enough. But it will be interesting to see how these guys do manage those tire sets, because with how slick this track is going to be, with how worn the surface is, tires are going to be absolutely key here for this race tonight.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. I think when you see it's not like when you're typical 1.5 milers, in which if you have one or two cautions in the beginning of the race, you'll attempt to stay out. It's more as if you want to be the earliest on pit road to take advantage of everybody's track position and such like that. So for all these drivers right now, my guess is they if we do see some early cautions, we'll definitely see a lot of drivers on pit road. So here we go.
Yeah, if you've ever watched a real-life Atlanta race, you've probably seen how quickly guys come in for tires right after pitting for them before. You know, tires probably won't last more than 20, 25 laps before they really start to fall off. If we have a lap time board at any point tonight, you'll see how bad the fall off is, because it's quite a bit compared to the laps that were set in qualifying and the laps you'll see during the race on a longer green flag run if we have one. So something to keep in mind as this race goes on, but we'll give you here now the starting lineup here for the Atlanta 150. Sean Leisure on the pole here for tonight. Congrats to him on winning the pole. Hunter Johnson rides outside pole.
That's the second time he's started inside this top 5. I mean, this whole weekend, that number 12 of Hunter Johnson has been absolutely phenomenal. Has qualified himself top 5, but just can't execute. Dane Cruz with a phenomenal qualifying effort in that number 80. He starts himself in 3rd, and Cody Webster, the fastest in practice, in 4th.
Running at your top 5, the 00 of Ryan Kendrick, and 2 is outside the 53 of Mark Frimpong.
Row number 4 going to be Charlie Byron, that number 7 machine. Eric Heater in that number 28. It's been a while since I've seen that number 28. Here he is out on the racetrack.
And rounding out your top 10, Daytona 250 winner Peter Kenny and Lacey Cool. Good qualifying run for her.
Rest of the order is going to be shown on your screen. Find your favorite driver, and hopefully they'll come out up top here for the Eating Josh Patterson and Shane DeMantova. I think both of them are... Actually, Shane, I think he's an independent now, but Patterson, Nova driver.
Aaron, one of the more notable independents there, starting in 13th, current points leader, defending race winner here in the DeNise Design Series here at Atlanta. And Delicado's already picked up a few wins across different series here this season. Christopher Weil, Brody Gardner, 2 to watch out for from the SPM stable. Harry back there.
Harry with Weeb, with Weeb's squad, I think. I'm not really sure. I forgot what. No, Kamikaze. They're on Kamikaze.
Yeah.
Apologies about that. He's going to get offended about that. Apologies.
Now, I believe Brent Cool, if I'm not mistaken, is Lacey Cool's dad.
That is correct. Though
I believe that's the first time we've ever had a father-daughter or father-son duo in an iSCAR event. So pretty cool history there in the making for those two. So congratulations on that. I'm pretty sure that's got to be the first
ever family, first ever family relationship out on the racetrack. That's really cool to see as we scroll through toward the back. Scott Yost finally making himself into a good event. I mean, a main event here tonight. Trey Shuttlesworth, one of the last people in. I expect that 119 to be around maybe 20th or 15th.
Liam back there is something too. I would have expected him to qualify farther up. So his work cut out for him. Back of the field here, Daniel
Klein makes the field. That's exciting.
Oh wow. And riding shotgun tonight, Jackson Menshew in the 099, the last car in the field. So we'll see how far he can get himself from the 43rd starting spot. As we get ourselves here out of turn 4, Sean Leisure and Hunter Johnson will lead us to the green flag here at Atlanta. Pace car is going to say sayonara, and we are underway here at Atlanta.
98 laps going to go into the books, and you can already see the tire spin up front as drivers sort of veer left and right, trying to get the grip onto their tires, but they work themselves cleanly into turn number 1. Hunter Johnson already attempting the high side pass on Sean Leisure, but looks like he stalls out. Looking right behind them and double wide all toward the back as drivers get a good handle.
Whoa, someone loose out of 2 there. I don't know if they spun or not, but someone was really out of shape right out of the turn. Hopefully they kept that going. But it looks like Leisure will lead the first lap as we have a whole group of proximity cars here. 3 of them all in this top 5. Trying to get themselves up in maybe a 1-2-3 run for proximity early in tonight's race. Looks like Hunter, Cody, and I'm not sure who that third one is. But proximity already looking very strong here in the early going.
That's the 00 of Ryan Kendrick, who works himself downstairs of the 80. Again, a really solid qualifying effort for that number 80 of Dane Cruz, but he's slowly dwindling back. He'll have a hole right in front of the, looks like, pink machine of Mark Frimpong, who's gapped by, I'd say, 3-4 car lengths, but look toward the back near 3-wide action as Nick Miller in the 95 attempted to squeeze the middle between, I think that was the 52 of Shane Demantova. I think he's a Basin Racing car, actually. I see the scheme on him, so I guess a move there from Basin Racing to add up another driver. I'm fairly surprised about that, as that was the 90 of Malachi Drake as well in the mix. But up front, Sean Leisure.
Yeah, Basin Racing, one of the newer teams on the grid this season. Got a couple solid drivers. Colton Zimmer, who we just saw win the B-Main, and has gotten some pretty good finishes in the other series so far. Thomas Slade hasn't been too bad either. So I think Basin Racing's got a pretty good future ahead of itself as the season progresses. I think someone just brushed the wall there into 3, but that 067 looking pretty strong here so far after starting from the pole.
That's been all Sean Leisure, but that 9 of Cody Webster is going to be knocking on the door. The man who is fastest in practice is lurking up to the backside of that 067. We'll see if that number 9 machine of Webster can make a pass. As you see, Leisure, he backed up the corner. I think he got a bit tight, or I'm not really sure about that. Here comes Webster.
Move for the lead here. According to Dylan, he is Shane Demantova is not on Basin Racing, and Dylan has no idea how we got the scheme. And apparently Thomas Slade is no longer on the team either. So Colton Zimmer still doing pretty good for the team, though. So a couple less guys than I thought were on there, but you know,
free advertisement. Whoa,
yeah.
Christopher Wow.
Yeah, I think somebody may have gotten the wall around there and grabbed some evasive measures taken by that 41. But he'll keep on going here. Side by side out of 4, that's Charlie Byer and Lacey Cool. I believe that's for 10th. And looks like we may go 3 wide here into 1. That's the 10 of Indelicato taking it 3, trying to pick up a few extra spots here on lap number 7. Still 3 wide out of turn 2. That's really close. That may be some contact, and indeed there is. But Indelicato keeps it going.
Byer was just sandwiched on the high side as Indelicato. Ooh, we got a tap coming into the corner in 3. Nick Miller in that 95. The 2 Nicks bump heads in 3 and 4, but luckily both of them keep it straight. But that slight bit of contact, maybe toward the longer run, may prove to be a caution, because these cars are starting to get even more slipperier by the moment.
Speaking of cautions, the last time we were at Atlanta for the DeNise Design Series, it went caution-free, with Aaron Mulrooney leading 70 of the 82 scheduled laps. So again, I don't know if we're going to go caution-free for this race, but I believe there were 24 cars in that race. We got a full 43-car field here tonight, so a lot more cars out on the track battling for spots. I mean, we'll see. We're already almost a tenth of the way through the race. Still going strong as Leisure still holds on, but it looks like they're almost single file almost through the entire pack.
Oh, so
there's one car in the wall. That's Demantova.
Yeah, I was about to say.
And
whoa!
Schmidt with nowhere to go. How did he get that and slow down in time?
I thought that was Sertage, but it was actually Shane Demantova in the 52. But man, Schmidt just slammed on the brakes. That's going to kill his tires as well.
That cost him a lot of positions too, probably at least 7 or 8. And that's probably going to keep going up. He's probably going to fall a few more positions before he can really get himself going again. But at least it didn't really kill his car there, because that could have been big for him if he had gotten that slowed down in time. Looks like the biggest mover here on the grid, looks like between Nick Indelicato and Nick Miller, both up 6 positions so far. Charlie Byer currently 6 in the wrong directions. That's 7 trying to fix that and get himself back up into that top 10. But Sean Leisure, the car to beat still, here on lap number 11, has led every one of those 10 laps completed.
Yeah, they're now starting to get a lot of more fanned out toward the back. Some drivers being a bit ambiguous of that second groove. You can carry a lot of momentum there, but I think you're not really going to go anywhere around that second groove. You can make it work by only by being defensive, as you see the 40 Lacey attempting to pinch that 95 of Miller. It doesn't work to avail. So Lacey's going to drop herself back into 12th. A slide job there right up off the corner. Peter Kenny clearing the 7 of Beyer. We'll have to check up right up off the throttle. And falling into the hands of that 41 Christopher Wild. And it looks like Malachi Drake also in the mix as well. But the first caution flag of the night will fly.
So we made it 82 and 12, so 94 straight laps in Atlanta in the Xfinity Series without a caution, but that has ended, and it looks like it's for the 79 of William Schmidt. You see the entire front end of that machine totally gone, so that was more than likely a big hit to the inside wall, and might be the end of his night. And we had just seen him have to slam on his brakes for Shane DiMantova, but looks like this may have started in front of him.
Oh, it looks like Schmidt.
No, this was in front of him. Somebody got the wall, and nothing he could do at all.
That was, I think, the 52.
It was a Nova car.
The 52
yeah, it was. And Dominic, I think, got into him.
That's the second time Shane's found the outside wall.
Yeah, the not Basin Racing. Oh, the 04 got in the wall in front of them as well. I'm not sure if that had any impact on the wreck, but we've seen quite a few people brush the wall so far, and here we see quite a lot of people already on pit road for what is more than likely their first of 5 allotted tire sets for the night. Looks like a couple people have stayed out, and Leisure will be first off the pit lane, and side by side with 2 proximity cars, Cody and Hunter. Looks like the order is relatively unchanged, at least for the top 10, but you do see that top 3 at the top of your screen, so at least 3 people did stay out, maybe trying to preserve a tire set for later in the race.
It's very dangerous to preserve or attempt to preserve your tire sets because Atlanta eats up tires in a hurry. And if you're trying to save your tires, like maybe like the 06 or 7 or 04, you're easily going to get swamped in by all those drivers in the back. But if cautions do play to favor for all these drivers who stayed themselves out, they could use that extra tire set maybe toward some late cautions there toward the end. So I'm not really sure on how it's going to work for them. We'll just have to find out on how these cautions will play in a favor.
I think that could go either way. You could either end up with a long green run where you'll have to pit under green, or maybe we'll have a caution fest. I mean, there's no way to know what'll happen, even though we've already made ourselves 12 laps in before the first yellow came out. But you know, with only 5 tire sets at a track like Atlanta that really eats up tires, I'm not surprised to see some guys try the strategy call, but we'll have to see if it works out for them or not. But looks like Josh Patterson and Charlie Beyer front row for the restart. Paul Granada, Brandon Lightus, they both stayed out as well. Trey Shuttlesworth, Jay Mulder, 5th and 6th. Daniel Camosa, 7th. And there's Leisure in 8th. So it looks like 7 people stayed out here for the restart. So we'll see how long these guys can stay up there. Or if maybe one of them spins and we have a stack up, who knows. But
yeah, that's right. Tire spin's going to be huge. It was a big part on that lap number 1 scramble. But here we go yet again. The Nova teammates. Oh, you see the tires.
Oh, wow. Look at Leisure almost taking it 4 wide across the line. Lightus goes up to block him, and we make a 4 wide into turn 1. That's going to be a huge hornet's nest. Looks like they're good for now, but Lightus is going to go quickly in the wrong direction on those older tires. And
they're still scrambling
good,
around.
But
oh, Miller!
Oh!
I think Miller got into the backside of Mulrooney.
Close.
Miller slide off the track as HBO, of course, wants to freeze now. But
Trey is getting freight train on the high side as well. So Patterson will lead a lap. Looks like the top 3 still up there, but a couple guys like Lightus quickly dropped through the field and are still dropping. There you see that red and yellow 73 just went off the screen. He restarted 6th, and he's already back around 20th. Oh, and Wiles on the wall.
Oh, just as we panned out to the cameras up front as Webster shoots himself downstairs for the lead. Heater got boxed in.
And here comes Leisure. Yeah, Heater got stuck behind Patterson, who's on those older tires and couldn't go anywhere.
Oh, car in the grass.
Car in the grass.
I think that's Camosa or one of the kamikaze machines have flung into the grass. I think they'll keep it straight for now, but I was fairly close. But look toward the back, you see Patterson gets the boot.
Yeah, they want all those guys in older tires to get right out of there. So we have quickly learned that staying out on older tires is not going to work.
But it can hold up for 2 laps.
Yeah, that could be something to watch out for, and maybe if we get to a green-white checkered attempt. But this early in the race, definitely not the way to go. But through all of that, that cost Sean Leisure the race lead, as he's now back in 3rd. So we'll have to see if that 067 can get around those 2 proximity machines, as he was, of course, the pole winner and led every lap until the caution. Looks like got a pack of 4 here. That's Patterson still being passed by, looks like Lacey and Christopher and Austin Johnson. So the 06 still going in the wrong direction. I think he's going to need a quick caution soon, or else he may end up getting lapped here if it stays green.
Miller has a bit of rear end damage. Maybe got ran on the restart.
Oh, someone pit. Maybe that was Camosa, maybe?
Nah, that's not Camosa. He's in the kamikaze machine.
Looks like a couple other people are a few laps down, and Delicato and Scott Yost both shown 3 laps down, so maybe there was some contact that was race-ending for them. I'm not really sure what occurred there, but... And Delicato was up there in the top 10 earlier on tonight, and now he's shown last on the grid, so... Not really sure what happened there. Tough break regardless, though. Battle here into 3, that's Drake and Lacey. Here's Kendrick and Peter Kenny. We're going to pan everywhere except for where I'm trying to...
I'm sorry, ATVO is sort of breaking itself right now. It's sort of hard to keep the camera on one car. But, yeah, we'll sort of focus along on this mid-pack. But Kendrick, a new addition to proximity racing in that 00.
Seems like every week Proximity just keeps adding and adding to their talented driver stable. Proximity's always been really good at finding good people to represent their team and produce really good results. And Ryan Kendrick just the latest in a long line of people that have driven for Proximity, that have picked up race wins and produced other really good results. So we'll see what Kendrick can do with his new team and his new teammates. But if there's one team that's always going to stand out as one that you always find talented guys on, it's definitely Proximity.
That's why they've made themselves a staple here in this series. They've shown themselves championships. Hunter Johnson, of course, winning the truck championship. I forgot how long ago that was. Maybe a few seasons ago in the truck series. That was one of their first of many championships. But they weren't able to pick up any championships last season. It was all Miller Motorsports, which was merged into SPG, which then exploded. But
yeah, SPG no longer a thing. SPG had a lot of talented guys on their team too. Of course, one of them, Nick Miller, now part of SPM and runs for Proximity in a few other leagues and such. So the SPG talent definitely did disperse. Mulrooney was one of those as well. He's still running as an independent, sitting there in the 6th spot. So we'll see if Aaron maybe gets picked up by a team at some point. But for right now, still running on his own. Good run for the 53 of Frimpong so far tonight, up in the top 5 here. And that 53 looks like a 4th of the way through the night. We'll see how that 53 holds up and how the other guys here in the back half of this top 10 hold up. Peter Kenny having a good run in that 19 as well.
Now, Peter was your points leader in the Cup Series. Unfortunate for him, he had a bit of computer issues and couldn't even qualify into the race. He lost the points lead, unfortunately.
He fell a lot, too. That wasn't a small drop. That was a big drop.
Yeah, from 1st to 9th.
Yeah, hopefully he can get himself back on track here tonight and in the Cup Series next weekend. But, of course, won the 250 and won the cash prize that went along with it. So he had a good start to his season, so hopefully this is just a little bump in the road and won't really derail his entire season.
Christopher in the 41 duking it out with, looks like Austin Johnson in that number 31. Austin making one of his very few starts here in iSCAR. He works himself downstairs to the low side. Easy pass right there as Miller in the 95 trying to trail into this mix as well. He goes under the 41 of Wow for position.
Looks like for 10th place. See Lacey Cool right behind them in 40. She started around, I believe, in 10th, so still hovering around 10th place or so. Good solid run for her so far. We'll see if she can get herself back in the top 10 later in the going. But now we're on lap 28, so we may see some green flag pit stops on the horizon, not for fuel, but for maybe some second tire sets being used. Again, with how fast tires get worn here at Atlanta, it would not shock me if guys hit every 15 or 20 laps, and that's going to be a yellow as Liam Sheen goes around on the front stretch and takes a couple other cars with him.
Or will it? There it is. There's the yellow.
Looks like just 3 wide, and they ran out of room. And Liam Sheen, and we're not sure who those other people are. We'll get another look here. But
that was Harry Grindle in the middle. I'm not sure who the yellow car was. Looks like he wasn't even a factor anyway, but
who's that white car on the bottom? That's
it seems as though I think Liam was trying to come down and make the dog leg.
That's Dane Cruz and Frank DeAngelis, the other 2 cars there. And then Dane tags Liam, and DeAngelis couldn't get stopped in time. Harry ends up running into Liam. So hopefully these were the only 4 people involved, but yeah, just ran out of room.
Yeah, and it gets really tight in the dog leg. You can't really corner as much as...
Maybe it's some netcode there.
Yeah, maybe.
It's close.
Yeah, but Liam...
Whoa, who's that one car that just totally shot
I think that was Hess.
Right, close call there for the 777.
Wow.
Whoa. Talk about the seas
that's Latham in the back.
Couple of close calls. Yeah, who's that red car? Did they miss this
Latham.
too?
Oh, wow.
Nice job. Looks like one car just stayed themselves out. And here we go, the entire parade down pit road once again. So for most of these guys, looks like this will be their second tire set used so far. So now this is interesting because I would assume Patterson and a few other guys will pit, but this will only be their first tire set. So keep that in mind as this race goes on, that some guys are going to have one extra tire set, at least for some point, than most of these top guys will. That could be a factor later on in the race.
Yeah, that's right. And we had another solid green flag run again, so I guess that's a good break, long run-wise. I mean, short run-wise for those drivers on who have an extra set to save. That might have played the difference toward the end, but we'll just have to find out. We're still yet to cross halfway here in tonight's main event, currently sitting on lap number 31 out of 98 on the racetrack. And new names starting to fly toward the top. Eric Keeter in the 28, Lacey Cole in the 40, Casey Drake, Tyler Wynn, and looks like the 01 of Matthew Klein all staying out. And one of them will elect to go onto pit road, coming this time by. That's Kyler Wynn. And he was the only car of those 5 to drive themselves onto pit road.
Yeah, we got a few people staying out here. Eric Keeter, Lacey Cool, Casey Drake, and Matthew Klein. Those 4 stayed out. Looks like Hunter actually beat Cody Webster off the pit lane, so Hunter will be the first one with new tires. So those will be your top 5 here for the restart. And no offense to anybody else, but Matthew Klein has a long history of blinking issues. Again, no fault of his own, but he does blink a lot. So if I'm Cody Webster, I'm Hunter Johnson, whichever lane he ends up in, I don't want to end up starting behind Klein, because if he blinks, especially on older tires, I might need a new change of underwear if I was one of those guys after that.
I'm surprised some of these drivers stayed themselves out. I don't know if staying out was the right call. If you were to stay out, it has to be very early to preserve a tire set. I don't know if they want to attempt to preserve a tire set through the middle of the run. We're still yet to cross halfway. We still have a lot of time, but it's going to be dangerous for all these drivers around this area, as looks like Matthew Klein in the 01 will slide himself on a pit road, so maybe like top 3 who have all stayed out. And the 12 of Hunter Johnson seems as though he's going to be in a good position. All he needs is for Lacey to get going on the restart.
Well, Lacey was running around 10th or 12th for most of the race tonight. So even though, of course, she's on older tires than a lot of the cars behind her, she does have top 10 or top 15 pace. So she may not fall off as quickly as some other guys that stayed out last time, but the older tires may end up causing her to anyway. But same goes for Eric Heater. He was running in the top 10 for a good amount of the night as well. But that makes me curious as to why they stayed out, because if they were running up there anyway, they probably would have restarted around where they were, so they're only really gaining maybe 6-7 spots at the most, versus somebody like Patterson on the previous restart that stayed out from around 20th.
Yeah, I'm
but
curious.
We'll see how it pans out, though.
A lot of questions to be answered, and we're still yet to cross halfway. I was going to say Hunter Johnson, but Eric Heater in that number 28 picked up a few wins last season and is yet to go to victory lane, but now he runs up front. We'll see if he can hold off the hard-charging cars with fresh rubber as the pace car scoots itself on in. Green flag, and Lacey spins the tires. This will jam up the high side. Looks like Casey also spun his tires. Lacey gets booted out over 4 wide coming into 1.
Yeah, it looks like Lacey just exited stage right there and just got out of everybody's way. And there goes Casey down the middle as well. Peter's going to have to let off a bit to not get into him, but he will easily get by. Yeah, I do question that a bit. Maybe they were hoping that there'd be another quick yellow or something, but just like on the last restart, the ones that stayed out on older tires got quickly freight trained with really no effort whatsoever, but put the 12 of Hunter Johnson back into the race lead here with his teammate Cody Webster not too far behind.
I think this is the first laps that Hunter has led this entire race, but the proximity teammate right behind him is knocking on the door of Cody Webster, who started himself in 4th. Again, fastest in practice. He's already led 13 laps of tonight's race. Works himself to the backside of that number 12. You see the difference in lines that they're running. Webster is way lower and wants to run those left side tires on that white line. It gets him, of course, looks like a better run right up off the corner. And Webster will shoot himself downstairs. And to the lead goes the number 9.
Saw in the background, Mark Frimpong in the 53 got a bad turn 3 and turn 4, and that cost him 2 spots to Mulrooney and Sean Leisure. So that 53 lost a bit of ground there, but he'll try to make it back up here with another proximity car in Kendrick right behind him. Still in 5th place for the 53. Still a pretty good day so far, but hopefully he doesn't have too many more bad corners like he did 2 circuits ago. And look at this battle here between quite a few cars, maybe around 20th or so. It looks like 7, 8, 9 cars all within looks like 2/10 of each other. And there's Brent Cool in the 140 making the most of that, trying to gain some spots on the high side.
Yeah, of course.
Charlie's in there. I think Charlie might be lapped down.
Yeah, he's lapped down.
I think he may have pit under green after staying out the last time, so he might need the free pass. And it looks like he currently is in the free pass position, and DeAngelis is right behind him. So if I'm Charlie, I definitely want to stay in front of that 69 car as long as I can to hold on to the free pass position.
Right on board with the 2 of Aaron Mulrooney. Looks like he didn't get a good turn 3 and 4. Lost a bit of tenth, like a couple of tenths to Hunter Johnson in that 12. Sean Leisure in the 067, he is also working himself to the backside of that too, so maybe we'll have a 3-car battle here for this position here momentarily as The 2 closes the gap on that number 12. Seems as though Mulrooney is way better in 1 and 2. Now he'll fling it to the low side. So an attempt to clear the 12. He'll sail it downstairs. He'll finally clear the 12 of Johnson, but the 2 of Mulrooney really shoved himself into 3. Scared Hunter a bit. Both of them washed up the racetrack. It opened up the door momentarily for the 067 to Sean Leisure, but he didn't take the bait. The Leisure now knocking on the door of that 12.
3 former teammates all battling here. Hunter, of course, the only one still on proximity of those 3. So if this was about a year ago, I believe this would be a 1, 2, 3, 4 for Prox right now. But of course, only 1, 3, and 6 now. But I'm sure those 3 still have a lot of respect for each other. And they seem to be racing pretty clean as Aaron makes the clean pass there for second. So the 2 will now set his sights on race leader Cody Webster, who has been the car to beat since that first caution when Leisure lost those spots on pit road.
This is honestly the first time we've seen Webster show his speed in a race in a while. So I'm really, really happy to see that number 9 of Webster. Not only he's running up front, he's dominating this thing once he's up there up front. He's slowly pulling away, but means of pulling away, you might be using your tires a bit too much. Maybe toward the long run, you might see Mulrooney or Hunter Johnson or maybe Sean Leisure work themselves to the backside of that 9. But they're staying fairly even for right now. Did I say stayingly?
You said singly.
Shoot. I can't English right now. I'm sort of screwed up. I ate too much Domino's. I don't know if that screws with my brain. I'm just trying to find excuses, okay? Oh boy.
Yes, they are singly file here as we go through turns 1 and 2. Looks like the top 10 or so, or maybe top 15, have broken away a bit from the rest of the pack. I'm not really sure, but looks like they did. But Mulrooney's definitely gained on the 9. So perhaps Cody may have used up more of his tires trying to pull away than the cars behind him did. But yeah, mostly singly file here. Still, yeah, there's the gap I was talking about. Looks like about a second or so if you don't count those 2 cars on their own.
This is where the 06 Patterson sort of sits as of right now. He'll need to catch a caution to reset himself. Again, he was one of those 3 cars who stayed out on old tires. He's doing the best of those 3 as well.
Lacey's currently being shown 42nd, 4 laps down. So something happened to her at some point. I don't know if she wrecked or what's going on there. But she was running top 10 before she stayed out and now finds herself out of contention tonight. So a tough break for her after starting herself within the top 10. But up at the front, Mulrooney has caught Cody Webster, but now he's going to find a way to get around that 9 car and also try to hold off Hunter Johnson, who's also going to be trying to look for second place. So Mulrooney currently in a proximity sandwich with his former teammates, but looks like he might try the high side, but ducks back down. This is going to be one heck of a pass if Mulrooney can pull it off.
He pulled a big pass there on the 12 of Hunter earlier as he drove it in a 3 and cleared him just by a smidge. But, oh, looks like Mulrooney missed the corner there. And look how much Hunter gained on that, too. He didn't have the option to pass there on the low side. Look right behind him, a bit of blocking as well as Leisure trying to fend out the 53 of Frimpong. And they go side by side. Frimpong is trying to pinch as much as he can. They stay off of each other for now. It's William Schmidt, the 79, who's getting lapped. It looks like the 2 of Mulrooney is slowly fading back yet again. I think it's because the 12 of Hunter Johnson has been knocking on the door ever since the 2 got up to the 9. So he's sort of trying to fight off 2 battles at once. Of course, trying to get that top spot, but also trying to keep the 12 right behind him.
nearing the halfway point here within the next lap or two. He's still trying to get himself around Hunter. Got someone on the apron. I think that was Klein getting to pit road. But Cody's still leading the most laps, and I don't know what just happened there, but looks like we're catching some... Oh, no, not catching lap traffic. Here comes Hunter for second on Mulrooney, so Aaron was not able to get by Cody and may end up losing a spot. His one car does get the wall there. That's Peter Kenny, the 19, and that'll drop him a couple spots. And to second place goes Hunter. So 1-2 here for proximity, and I think Hunter saved his tires because he makes a big move here for the lead underneath Cody. So good tire strategy, or good tire conservation there from Hunter, and that will put him to the race lead, it looks like momentarily.
Oh my goodness, you see the 12
Cody's hanging tough out there though.
Yeah, that's right. You saw the 12 on slowly jot forward as Mulrooney is going to slide himself under the 9 for second, or attempt to. But the 12 of Hunter jammed on the throttle in the middle of 3 and 4, pushed ahead of that 9 just by a bit. I thought he was going to push tight right up off of 2, but I guess not. He kept himself down low and made the pass work. And that opened up the door for the 2 Mulrooney to take second place. Number 2, respectively, in second, as his car number says.
So Aaron with a net gain of 0 there over the last couple laps. Lost a spot and gained it right back. But Hunter Johnson now back out front. iSCAR's winningest driver in league history. Trying to add, I believe this would be win 36 if he can pull it off. I think 36. Yeah, mostly single file here through the field. Not a lot of battles as the older tires start to separate some people from each other, I guess. But Hunter's still out front. We may see some green flag pit stops here soon if this stays green for guys wanting to keep their tires as fresh as possible. And if this goes green all the way, that could potentially work to Josh Patterson's advantage with that extra tire set and a couple other guys that stayed out. But still 45 laps to go to see how all that plays out.
Right up off the corner as Hunter Johnson starting to put a gap on that number 2 Mulrooney, and Webster slowly falling back. But you see the line that Mulrooney wants to run in 3 and 4. He's arcing it very, very late into the corner. This is going to use up a lot of right front, and I think the car is already tight enough that too Mulrooney is not going to have really a chance to get at Hunter Johnson. To see he lost a 10th there using that line. For Mulrooney, I don't think that's a good line to run, in my opinion, but he's keeping himself in second place, though, so he's doing something right.
Looks like he might be losing a bit of ground for Hunter. Looks like that gap now almost 0.4 of a second. So the 12 car looks like now the best one on the track of anybody. But it looks like not a lot of passing has gone on over the last couple of laps. Again, looks like they're single file almost for the entire field now. But again, like I said a few minutes ago, we may see some green stops here in the not too distant future, and that might lead to some people staying out a bit longer, maybe trying to get some bonus points. That's what, if there's green flag stops, that's where stuff may start to get a bit wacky.
Yeah, that's right, and it played bad for Hunter Johnson at 12 yesterday, attacking the cup car. He tried to pit a bit earlier than everybody else, but unfortunately a caution came out, and that screwed him. Had a chance to retain the top spot, and he couldn't recover from there. See a bit of side-by-side action right here with 7 Charlie Bayer, of course, a lap car. 86 Dominic Howell, the winner of that cup race. Now fighting off the man who got second with a 55 of Brody Garner, so a bit of tension between those two.
Yeah, Brody wasn't too happy with Dominic after last night. Of course, we saw him dump him after the checkered flag. It looks like Brody will pass him cleanly. Jackson Minshew started dead last on the grid tonight. He's up to 20th, so he's up 23 spots from the drop of the green flag. So a good job for him so far. and more than likely the hard charger of the race. Looks like the gap is leveled off here between Johnson and Rooney. Still looks like around 4-5 tenths. So they're probably running pretty even lap times now at this point.
Gray Shuttlesworth has done a phenomenal job. 21 positions gained from the start of the green. Now works himself into 14th place, now chasing after the 95 of Miller. And also Poindexter and Josh Patterson in there as well. Quinton Warman, he too is having a really nice run. That number 94, that was the yellow car that I couldn't really catch my eye off of that big wreck in the front stretch. That number 94 has worked himself inside this top 10, so good job by him.
Yeah, I saw Garrett Hess, picked up over 20 spots so far as well. Quite a few guys picking quite a few spots up from where they started. A couple guys losing some, but for the most part, quite a few guys, again, making the most of what they can and getting double-digit position gains. But will they be able to stay there until the end of the race?
Johnson slowly pulling away, as we'll see lap 60 into the books here for this one. I think it's still going to be 2 stops from this point forward. And if I were the 12 or 2, I'd start to plan out your strategy on when you want to hit pit road. They've been out on their tires for looks like 30 laps now. So in about 15 laps, we should see people pit in for fuel. But who knows? Some drivers want to maybe short pit 5, maybe even 10 laps earlier than what that fuel window allows. And if they do pit, I'd say in about 10 laps, they're gonna actually, by the looks of it, the halfway point of this run should be around 35 to go. So they're on their 30th lap on the racetrack. There's only 38 laps to go right now, so they should be on pit road in about lap 34 laps to go. So I'd say
within the next couple of them.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, fuel run of 45 to 50 laps, but of course, again, the tires really last a lot less than that. But if we do get into green-white checkered territory, I can see why. Well, actually, green-white checkered territory won't even matter for fuel if they pit now. With only 36 to go, fuel will be a non-issue after these last stops. But again, the tires could become an issue depending on how people saved, like Hunter did to get himself to the leader. If maybe they drove him in too much, as Cody Webster did, as now Mark Frimpong has gotten by him for the 3rd spot. So the 9 car definitely lost a couple spots here since the restart. He may have used up his tires a bit too fast. So we'll see how people conserve tires after these last pit stops and see where they shake out at the end.
Johnson's doing a nice job. He's pulled himself by now nearly to a second away from Aaron Mulrooney, and I think, well, based on what Hunter Johnson has learned, green flag pit stops are just not his thing. He can nail it down, but the way the cautions just play out is just not to his favor. But the way this race has been going, we've had a couple of green runs. I think the 12 may still want to hit halfway. I think Hunter Johnson might be a bit scared of hitting pit road, honestly. Maybe staying himself a couple of laps out. I'm not really sure, but we do have some people hitting pit road toward the back. Casey Drake has found himself on in. You see the difference between older tires and newer tires right there, as Casey is doing a fine job of Larson lining.
Yeah, it could be some strategy games going on here between those top 3 to see when they might want to pit. But we'll see here. You mentioned 34 to go. This is 34 to go right now. So when will these guys start to come down? We'll see what Hunter decides to do. Looks like he's going to stay out a bit. Whoa, is he? Nope, he's staying out.
That's William Schmidt in the 79. He's stopped.
Still going.
Oh, here comes some other people on pit road. Looks like now we're starting to see some people fling themselves down pit road. There's 777 and Charlie Byer. I mean, that's not Charlie Byer. That's Garrett Hess. Josh Patterson or Paul Granada, one of those people in. Malachi Drake, he's also on pit road. But yeah, William Schmidt sort of floating around.
His motor may have expired, honestly.
Yeah, his motor might have expired. Here comes Hunter.
And will Mulrooney join him? Yes, he... Oh, no. Yep, there he is.
Oh, that car right behind him. That's not Mulrooney, though.
Yeah, Mulrooney's that second blue car. Webster, Leisure, a lot of the top 10. Looks like Frimpong is staying out at least one lap, and so is Weil, Austin Johnson, Quinton Warman, Kendrick. So a whole new top 5, at least for the moment. So bonus point to the 53 of Frimpong for leading at least one lap here tonight. So he'll probably come in, I would assume, in the next couple laps. But 4 tires and fuel here for most of these guys here, I would assume, on pit road. And Hunter will be the first off pit road. And it looks like he might gain a few tenths here on Aaron on that cycle.
That's right. You see the difference there. In
actually,
this,
quite a bit. That gap may have just honestly doubled.
The caution, though, flag! Oh, my goodness. I called it. I knew it. I knew it.
Wow, and a ton of people might have just gotten trapped a lap down.
I knew it.
Christopher Weil there in the middle of his stop. Yeah, look at that. 14th on back is a lap down. So Hunter's, I think, is going to get the free pass, but everybody else behind him, I think, actually, they still might be able to get the wave around because Frimpong's got a pit. But at least for the time being, there's a ton of people trapped a lap down. But go figure that whenever we have green flag pit stops, that's when the caution decides to come out.
Oh my goodness, so Webster might have got trapped in 2 down.
Did he pit twice?
No, he just got caught at a bad time on pit road.
Oh, he is 2 down.
We'll get a... Oh, there's 86.
That's Dominic.
I'm not sure if that's the cause of the
caution. What happened here? Oh, he may have... Oh, he came in way too hot.
Yeah, there's no way he's making that.
Is that the yellow?
Somebody
else looks like they missed pit road but stayed on the track. I would be shocked if that's what caused the caution.
See the slow car right ahead of that? The 59 of Bridger Olsen.
What happened here?
He might have missed pit road too.
Yeah, he did, but he stayed out though. He got back on the racetrack. He's going straight. So I mean, unless Dominic was the caution.
Oh, there's I see a small dot there, who's stopped on the entrance of 3. There it is.
Oh, there it is.
There's Jay Mulder.
And his front end's gone. Okay, there's our culprit here. Got the wall out at 2, and whoa!
Oh,
Got the wall again. And there's no saving that. And right, and he already had a lot of damage. He must have hit the wall at some point earlier in the race. Close call there for Brent Cool in the 140. So there's our culprit for the caution. Only the 3rd one of the night. Bit of a cleaner race than I was honestly expecting to see with a full field. And according to Peter, if anyone noticed on the ticker why he was 10 laps down, his iRacing crashed. So computer issues plagued that 19 for the 2nd night in a row, unfortunately. So Christopher Weil now the leader, as Frimpong did come down pit road, but looks like Weil, Johnson, Warman, Kendrick, Garner, Lloyd have yet to pit. I would assume they will here. Because there's no way they can make it on the tires they have to the end. But they might try it. We've already seen twice tonight that staying out on older tires is not a good idea. Because you get immediately freight trained, but looks like we may have a couple of people try it again.
Man, that caution came out at a horrible time. Not only... This time it just wasn't only Hunter Johnson who was caught in that caution. Looks like Glidus was caught in a bad area. Everybody did hit pit road. Everybody in front of them did stay out, but everybody who stayed out on that green flag cycle did come in this time by, so Now, new names, as you said, working inside this top 5. So, with them starting on fresher tires as well. We'll see how the 41 Christopher Weil, Austin Johnson, Quinton Warman, Ryan Kendrick, and Brody Gardner, how they're gonna function toward the front. This is the first time we're gonna see them run toward the front as well. So I'm interested to see on who will prevail from this top 10, because that 12 of Hunter Johnson, he's riled all the way back in 14th place. The 2 of Mulrooney. Actually, Hunter might have gotten, he might have gotten lucky.
All right, man. Lights are back on the pace car. We're not
Lights
going
back on the race car. Lights
green.
Back on the pace car, by the way, so we won't get the 1 to green as everybody's just trying to catch up. I think that's by admin call, by the way.
Yeah, we'll have to see how this pans out for a while. He was in the middle of his pit stop when the caution came out, so he stayed on the lead lap. So he's got pretty much the same tires as everybody else that pit before him. So we'll be able to see here if Chris can stay up there with the same tires. We'll have to see, but he hasn't really had top 5 speed for the duration of the race. He's been more towards the back half of the top 10 for most of the night. You see everybody in the top 16 on the left side of your screen, only 3 laps difference with tires, and those have all been under caution. So for all intents and purposes, everybody has the same tires. So for all those guys that stayed out, now this will be the first time, rather, that we have guys staying out that'll have the same tires as people behind them. So now we'll be able to see how long they really can stay out and stay up front.
Brendan Lightis in the 73.
Oh.
He's 21 laps on his tires. He probably stayed himself out to get the lead lap. But of course, it comes at a price. And that's not coming on a pit road, unfortunately. So that 73 is going to be in a bad position. Everybody who's starting single file hit pit road. They're all single file because they hit pit road at a later time. And they also got the wave around as well, so fire is blinking out just a bit. Might be a bit of miscommunication there as we're all trying to get sorted out toward the back, but up front, it's a different story. As a new chapter will go into the books with number 41 and Christopher Weil up front. He's going to lead this field to the start. iSCAR scoots itself on in. Wow, we'll hit the throttle early, but he spins the tires just a bit. And look right behind, Mark Frimpong did not get going.
Yeah, you see Lightis already getting swamped back there around 15th or so. Those older tires just not going to do him any good. Austin Johnson maintains second. Here's Quinton Warman looking for third. Kendrick's the proximity car up on the high side. So Weil already getting looks like 2/10 of a lead. And here comes Warman for second. And Brody looking for third. Austin looks like maybe got a bad turn too and cost him a couple spots. So Quinton Warman there in the 94 in that Starburst machine. Will he be able to get down Christopher Weil and maybe steal a win away?
I don't know. Quinton's been faster than that number 41. He has a bit of fresher tires than that number 41 as well. He's ran himself inside this top 10 this whole entire race. Christopher has been lurking back in 15th spot. So this is the time for the 94 to prove himself that he's an iSCAR contender. Quinton Warman's closing the gap as well. Oh, got a wreck!
Oh, that's a big wreck into one. Dominic Howell's going to go around. That'll be the caution once again. And that actually might, forget big wreck. He may have been the only car that spun.
Oh, this will hit another reset button for all those drivers who started themselves single file. This is a big break to the 73 Elitis, so he can come on to pit road and, of course, take on tires. I'm not really sure. It seemed as though everybody just trying to shove himself to the bottom. Oh, God. Looks like Jackson Menchu. Contact there.
Menchu tagged him.
Oh, they're already looking 3 wide.
Yeah, Menchu to run here into 1. Oh, wow.
Seems as though a bit of miscommunication. I don't think Menchu was really trying to force a 3-wide issue.
Yeah, I think they just caught Austin at a bad time, and they just maybe netcode there. That was
yeah,
weird.
a bit of netcode as well.
It hit that. It just hopped like that. So that was definitely odd. I thought maybe they just ran out of room because they caught Austin, but there was still plenty of room there between Menchu and Dominic. And I don't know what in the world that was, but his car right there just did not turn at all, and it just tagged him.
I think he's just trying to set himself up for turn number 1. And of course, the Austin Johnson being slower sort of caught him off guard, and around they went. And Johnson will hit pit road. He also has a bit of right front damage on his machine. Bit of update from Lacey Cole, wheel disconnection on her part.
Ooh.
As Webster will be the first one waved around, and he'll put himself back on the lead lap. So that is a great break for that number 9, who's led 27 laps out of the 78 we've ran. That has to be frustrating as well for that 9 of Webster to get caught by that kind of caution. He's only in that position because of that caution, not because of input error.
Yeah, Mulrooney's still back there in 12th. Leisure in 13th. They haven't really been able to get back up into the top 5 yet. I think Menchu may have gotten an EOL. He's slow on the apron.
Yeah. The 12 of Johnson lost a few spots. He's now rallied back in 20th place. So the man who's really gained the most off of this, the most off of getting caught from that caution is the 2 Mulrooney, who finds himself in 11th. It's going to be a while for him to really work himself through this field right in front of him, because it is hard to pass here at Atlanta. Man, I'm very impressed by Quinton Warman right now in that number 94. Started himself 22nd, but has been running top 10 most of the time.
Yeah, we'll see if he's got something for Chris in the later portion of this race. And you see Brody Gardner there in 3rd. Brody's already got a win this week. Won the Yost Auto Sales Series race at Lucas Oil and got 2nd at Kentucky last night. So he's got 2 really good finishes already this weekend, looking for another top 5 here tonight. But I wonder if he'll try to go for the win. And if he does, can he get it?
Everybody who's laps down seems to be multiple laps down, except for Dane Cruz in the 80, who's the only person 1 lap down. So if he does catch a caution, he'll be the only one waved around. Of course, Webster got the last wave around. He put himself back in the lead lap. Fortunately, he's going to have to work himself all the way from 29th, 30th spot, all the way in 27th. So
definitely a tall task there. But so it looks like we're going to go green here with 18 to go. Weil, Warman, Gardner. That's DeAngelis in 4th?
That's Thomas Lloyd. He too came out of nowhere.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I thought that was Leisure, but I guess not. That's Thomas Lloyd in the 63.
Started in 36th, so that's a 33 spot gain for that 63. He was one of those that stayed up with Chris and caught that lucky caution with Jay Mulder. So will he be able to stay up there and get himself what I believe would be his first ever top 10 year? Words are hard.
I know they are. Here we go. Coming to the green. 4-1 Christopher Weil will scoot himself to the restart box. Can't jam on the throttle like what he did last
Green
restart,
flag,
but he
green flag.
does anyway. Look at the
Oh,
tire
somebody
spin
hit-
by the 04 Paul Granada. Trouble in the back. There they
that's a
go.
big wreck.
Caution is out.
That
Caution is
goes.
out.
Oh my goodness, that's
They're
everybody.
still piling in.
Brent Cool was the first to get turned, and everybody piled into that. Charlie Byer I saw in there, and Malachi Drake, and pretty much everybody else behind 10th place. And that was inevitable. Yeah, I think one of the Nova cars, and maybe Granada, spun him, and then Brent Cool, I think, got hooked by the car behind him, and then absolute pandemonium ensued. And you'll see it's a red car with an N on the hood. I'm pretty sure that's Granada. Just did not go. Yeah, right there, just totally spun him. Nowhere for Brent Cool to go. Mulrooney gets into Brent. Leisure, who won the pole, ends up collected in that. So his day is probably over.
Like Hunter Johnson made it through somehow.
Hunter may have escaped that.
Oh, it happened right in front of him. Well, cleared down low.
Liam Sheen got through that clean. But a lot of people with damage. There's Leisure into the inside wall. Trey Shuttlesworth, Nick Miller, they go both through the grass. Casey Drake. There's Menchu. Camosa.
Oh, Kyler Wynn.
Just everybody.
Not sure who that blue car is up on the
Ooh.
high side. That
Big hit there by Camosa on Drake, too.
Camosa, not Camosa, but man, team
Patterson
killer by
got through that.
Kamikaze right there. The 65 and
SPM killer there, too. Like, 3 of their cars just got damaged. Poindexter made
Harry
it through.
spinning to the low side.
Lightus is destroyed. Webster made it through. So that there's like 10 of his spots back.
This is insult to injury. Watch the 65. He spun the tires, hit the outside wall, and well, he put
And
himself
hits
into
it
the
again.
outside wall.
Hits it 3 times, and then just boom right into the side of the 87. Man, oh man.
Look at all those cars just trying to fling down low. The man who got lucky off of that looks like to be Brayson Collins, the 5. He only spun it.
So a lot of people just picked up
jeez.
damage. So that's gonna shake up. Looks like 10th through 20th, but of course the top 10 remains virtually unchanged with how quick that caution came back out. But that's gonna definitely take some people out of the race. Looks like already 4 or 5 may have already called it quits after that. But Christopher Weil still leads here. 15 to go this time, so he'll probably go green maybe 12 or 13. But I feel like with the amount of tire spin that we saw tonight, a wreck like that was probably bound to happen at some point.
Oh yeah, no
And with
no doubt about it. I mean, at the start of the race, we immediately saw tire spin, and it could only get worse from there.
And with how far up in the field that was, there was just nowhere for anybody to go. As soon as Brent Cool got turned, the entire track was blocked, and everyone just started piling into that. So Marooney's back up into the top 10 because he got through that mess.
Hunter Johnson
Even
went
though
from 20th to 12th.
I mean, still some work to do for Hunter, but that wreck certainly did help his cause because he made it through that totally clean. Trey Shuttlesworth got a little bit of damage, but he looks like will be staying out, shown in 10th at the moment. But that definitely just shook things up. See where we stand here for going back green. Hopefully we get the 1 to green here this time. And indeed we do.
Mark Frimpong in the 53, now in 7th place. Looks like he has a bit of right front damage, but he's one of those other drivers who were caught. I think he was caught by the caution. I'm not really... No, he stayed himself out. But the 53, before that green flag cycle, or semi-green flag cycle, the 53 of Frimpong, he was running top 5 as well, so...
So Christopher Weil, Quinton Warman, Brody Gardner, Thomas Lloyd, and Ryan Kendrick. Your top 5 here for the restart. Latham Joyner, Mark Frimpong, Bridger Olson, Aaron Mulrooney, and Trey Shuttlesworth rounded out your top 10. 13 to go next time by. Can Christopher hold on, or will Quinton or someone else wrestle the win away?
I know, it's their time to take advantage of of that caution. That really shuffled the field. For a while, we'll nail the throttle yet again. No, it looks like he's going to lay back a bit.
Green flag.
Green flag. Oh, more tire spin. They're four
might,
wide in the back.
They might wreck again. They just wrecked big, and they might do it again. I think someone may have just hit the wall and the dog leg, but 3 wide there for around 10th or 11th. As Shuttlesworth is going in the wrong direction. Off the restart there.
Oh, got a caution.
Kendrick got the second from 5th, though, before that caution came out. He got by Warman and a few other people. And looks like another restart incident here, so we'll see what happened here. It looks like it wasn't around here.
I don't know. I saw a car spin to the inside.
Oh, yeah, there's
is.
Harry. That's what I knew somebody hit the wall in the dog leg, and that was Harry Grindle in the 70. And around he went. So there's our 4th or 5th yellow of the night.
Trying to spin it around. But,
yeah, I knew that was trouble as soon as he hit the wall.
There was another car that spun. I'm not really sure where it was.
I mean, good jump by Harry to try to take advantage of that, but
right there.
You went almost 5 wide in the dog leg. That's not going to work.
I'm not
and
sure
Harry got the short end of that deal.
It was Matthew Klein, the other car who spun to the inside. He was blinking, so it's hard to focus the camera on him. But we will get another restart.
Probably 9-10 to go. So definitely into closing time here. Tires are probably going to be a non-factor, at least from the viewpoint of pitting for another tire set. At this point, with only 11 laps to go, track position is definitely key over anything else. So in terms of tires, you probably won't see any more pit stops.
Except for those drivers who are toward the back who have really nothing to lose.
Agreed.
You might as well hit pit road now. Because
if you're like 15th or higher up, though,
no
way.
No way. And this is just giving more advantages to Christopher Weil in that number 41. We've barely gone green for about 2, 3, 4 laps ever since that caution halfway, which really shuffled the field. So for Aaron Mulrooney, he's only worked himself into 8th. Hunter Johnson looks like back in 12th. Joyner. Oh, he's sitting in 7th right now. I mean, not Joyner. Joyner's sitting in 6th. It was Frimpong I'm mentioning about, who's only in 7th. Weil has led all these laps most of these laps under yellow as well, so we'll probably go into single digits to go.
So still the pace lights are on, so looks like we'll go green with 8 to go.
There's a bit of an I wouldn't say a bit of an argument on the chat right now. What do you mention? I mean, how do you term the front straightaway? Is it quad oval, dog leg, tri-oval? I call it the dog leg.
Well, tracks like Atlanta and Charlotte and Texas. Those are 2 dog legs.
Yeah.
But a track like Chicagoland or a track like Kansas, that is not a dog leg.
That's a tri-oval.
Yes. It depends on the track.
Yeah, I mean, Phoenix. That's one. That
That's like
track has
that's
dog
the dog
leg.
leg most people know, but like
Yeah.
I mean, this is the dog leg.
Yeah,
that's one, and then here's number 2 right here. But again, you know, again, tracks like Kansas and Chicagoland and Kentucky don't have those, but of course Atlanta, Texas, and Charlotte do. But just different terminology.
Yeah.
But
I call it
whatever.
I call it dog leg. That's just what I term it as. Some people think it as other way. I know some people who skip over that whole entire term. They just call it a tri-oval, which I say to them, "Are you okay?"
Yeah, for this track specifically, I wouldn't call it a tri-oval, but if we were at Kentucky last night, I would have called it a tri-oval. But
Yep.
Terminology aside, we've still got 8 laps of racing left to go. Christopher Weil still out front. Brody Gardner is outside there in second. Warman, Lloyd, Kendrick, Joyner, Frimpong, Mulrooney, Olsen, and Poindexter round out your top 10. So will Chris be able to hold everybody off and get the win? Or will we see a new winner perhaps in the Winter Series?
Christopher has been playing mind games with Brody Gardner. He's been wanting to go on pace, wanting to go on green. Now he goes in the middle,
Green.
and this catches Warman a bit off guard. They'll go side by side, most likely for the second position. Warman trying to work himself to the underside of that 55, but Christopher Weil, in the meantime, he's long up and away.
Whoa!
Contact!
That's Lloyd in the outside wall. Watch out! And he keeps it going, but he's going to fall from 4th, way out of the top 10, and probably the top 20 perhaps. So a tough break there for Thomas Lloyd. And that will put Latham Joyner in the 003 up into 4th. So welcome Latham to the top 5 for the first time here tonight. 7 laps to go as Warman now back into second. Got a big battle here. Look at Mulrooney. Oh, and Mulrooney goes around and hard into the outside wall. Latham into the outside wall. Kendrick into the outside wall. And more people pile in. Another caution comes out. And another great run by someone in the top 10 all day gets ended just like that, as Mulrooney couldn't keep it going, and
that's the points leader.
That's his race. And look at Cody Webster, was 29th 2 restarts ago, now 6th.
That was a fairly big wreck. Oh, Webster might have actually got some damage.
And Mulrooney got hit hard after that. Yeah, Kendrick got into Mulrooney.
Wow.
Hard into the outside wall, and then boom! Liam Sheen, Nick Miller.
Oh, Brent Cool. That's Brayson Collins.
Got into that. And who was the car that hit him? There was another car right in front of, I think, Nick, that really hit Mulrooney hard, and I can't tell who it was. But an overcorrection for him, and then who's this?
Bang! That
black car, I think that was Trey Shuttlesworth.
It was.
Yeah, and Latham overcorrects into the outside wall as well, and nowhere to go for that SPM machine. So that may be the end of his night as well. A lot of good cars just got taken out on that one.
And the man who Webster did get a bit of right side damage. He actually.
I don't think he's gonna pit though.
No, you have to stay yourself out on at this point. And Johnson has now worked himself into 5th, but I don't think it's going to be enough to really push himself into that winning position. It just all works for Christopher Weil's favor yet again. His caution coming out is not giving a lot of chances for Quentin Warman to really pass, unless Quentin could time the restart out well.
Jackson Menchue started this race in dead last, the last car to make it into the field, and he's in 9th. Gained 34 spots since the drop of the green flag for that 099. But is he going to stop there, or could he potentially gain even more spots before this race is over?
I'm not sure.
Because he made it through that wreck, I think, clean.
He definitely can. Look at this whole entire... Oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing. I was about to say, that's all position game. No way. There we go.
Yeah, 34
similar
positions for Menchue, 27 for Garrett Hess right behind him, from 37th to 10th. I mean, look at even the top of the board. Chris started 19th, Quinton started 22nd, Brody started 20th. So a lot of guys have gained a lot of spots tonight, but Hunter Johnson now back into 5th and Webster into 6th. So of that, group of 4 of Leisure, Webster, Hunter, and Mulrooney, only the 2 proximity cars are left standing, as Aaron and Sean are more than likely both done for the night. So will Hunter or Cody be able to take this win? Or will maybe Chris or Quinton potentially get it?
Wild's very experienced. He could add another win onto his resume from today. I don't think he's ever won in an Xfinity series. Oh, actually, I think he has. Never mind. I'm lying to myself, but that 41 of Christopher Weil. Oh boy, he has a lot of experience under that hood. Gonna use all of it to outduel that 94 on restarts of Warman. And Warman also lost his teammate of Quinton. Not Quinton Warman. Well, yeah, he lost his teammate of Quinton Warman. That's what am I saying? He lost his teammate of Thomas Lloyd, who got walled in by the 003 of Latham Joyner. There's Thomas. He looks like is riled all the way back in 16th place. He dropped all the way back to 20th before that big wreck. I guess that's a good thing because, I
think he got damaged in it, though.
Yeah, he got damaged because he nailed the high side wall.
So this is a regulation restart with 2 to go. So if you have another caution, that'll put us into green-white checkered territory. But Christopher Weil trying to hold on for 2 more laps to take the win. Quinton Warman looking for his first ever iSCAR win. Brody looking for his second win of the week. Hunter looking for, I think, win 36, which would extend his all-time record here in iSCAR. Yes. Webster's got quite a few.
And
Carson yet to win in iSCAR.
Warman and that 94. 0.
Carson Poindexter in 6th. He's yet to win. Menchu's has won, but not in a while. So, interesting mix of guys here in terms of wins. There's Dominic. He won last. Oh, no, that's not Dominic. But we're back underway here with 2 to go. Quinton really spun the tires, and that's going to spell trouble for the outside line. And the 94 is going to lose quite a few spots here off the start. And it's into turn 1. Brody's right behind Chris for the lead. Webster jumps up to 3rd with Quinton spinning the tires. And Hunter trying to pass now that 94. Can Chris hold on for a lap and a half? Here comes Brody, though, for the lead.
Brody will peek himself down low. He got denied yesterday of the win. He might be denied today yet again. Off of turn number 4, white flag is our 3 wide in the background as Warman attempts to hold off the proximity duo. Last lap here at Atlanta.
Warman back up to 3rd after spinning the tires, trying to regain the positions he lost. He's on the apron. He might get turned here as he washes up. And that's going to put Hunter Johnson into 3rd. There's a whole group of people. Nick Miller gets turned out of turn 2. He's going to go around Menchu's into the outside wall. But meanwhile, up at the front, last chance for Brody Gardner. But it won't be enough at all. Christopher Weil out of turn number 4 wins here at Atlanta. Congratulations, that 41.
How about Josh Patterson? Top 5 for him out of nowhere.
Tires worked out for him.
That's right. On the midst of all of that, Christopher Weil picks up his 2nd win in the iSCAR season, his 1st in the Gold Series. For the iSCAR DeNise Designs Series, Brody Gardner, unfortunately, 2nd, 2 days in a row.
As they say, 2nd sucks. But
it really
Christopher
does.
Weil with his 2nd win already of the Winter Series, and he'll burn it down here on the front stretch. Yeah, great job for Josh Patterson. Ended up saving his tires and got himself up into a top 5 spot. As we'll get you full race results here after 98 laps at Atlanta. Christopher Weil, your race winner here tonight. Brody Gardner just short again. Hunter Johnson rebounds to get third. Quinton Warman, a strong top 5 run for him. Just mentioned Patterson in 5th. Carson Poindexter, good top 10 run for him. Dominic Howe, Cody Webster, Paul Granada, and Cole Williams rounds out the top 10. And with Mulrooney being out of the race, Cole Williams, I believe, is going to be the points leader walking out of this race.
Garrett Hess, outside the top 10, going to be in P11. Kendrick Grindle Menchu Joyner, round out the top 15. Liam Sheen, Thomas Lloyd, Austin Johnson, Malachi Drake, Mark Frimpong, round out the rest of the top 20.
And 21st through 30th, Bridger Olson, Brandon Lightus, Nick Miller, we saw him get turned out at 2 on the last lap. He'll be the last car on the lead lap. Brayson Collins, Jay Mulder, Mulrooney, who we saw up there for a lot of the night, he ends up 26th. Matthew Klein, Daniel Camosa, Ray Shuttlesworth, and Brent Cool in the 140.
Rest of the order is going to be shown on your screen. Sean Leaser, Scott Yos, Casey Drake, Charlie Byer, Kyler Wynn, Dayton Cruz, Eric Keeter, William Schmidt, Shane DeMantova, Peter Kenny. Round out 40th. The last 3, Frank DeAndros, Lazy Cool, and Nick Indelicato. Round out the rest of the order. We'll scoot ourselves to the side and drag in the top 5 for interviews. We'll be right back here for the iSCAR DeNise Design Series. Atlanta 150 rounds itself out in round number 3.
Don't count out Casey Drake in that 87. He's right.
One more lap to go here at Indy. He ran him all the way from 3 seconds back. 2 laps to go. Oh, round 2 gets fun. Oh, Menchu gets the apron. Around goes Drexler. He spins right from the back. Huge wreck. The 2 flies up in the air. It's 3 wide. Oh, what a move by Derek. He wants to go.
Tries to send him up the hill, but can't quite do it.
Now between the 2 is 2 car lengths. Too little too late for Derek M. Smith. Oh, clapping gets turned. Clapping gets turned. Oh my gosh. Side by side. 3 wide at the wire. We welcome everybody back here live for the iSCAR DeNise Design Series. Atlanta 150 rounding itself out here for 98 laps under regulation. We'll go ahead and drag your winner of Christopher Weil into the booth. Christopher, you got a copy?
Hell yeah.
Christopher, congratulations, man. It played all to your favor there toward the end, especially with that caution. Once you found yourself suddenly toward the front, what was going through your mind, of course?
During that long run, I was thinking, man, if I could get up there, I think I could challenge for this thing on a long run pace, because I really had some decent long run pace. So when that yellow came out and I beat Frimpong to pit exit to stay on the lead lap and inherited the lead, all that was going through my mind was, let's go green to the end. It's go time. I can do this. And we didn't go green to the end. I don't even think we had a run longer than like 3 laps there. But I just kept trying to get great restarts, tried to manage the wheel spin, and just tried to keep jumping the field, restart after restart, and worked with Brody to help, I guess, be like a little buffer for me. He wanted it at the end too. I can't blame him, and I had to block him, of course. But man, what a result, what a fortunate turn of events. I definitely didn't expect to be in victory lane tonight.
Yeah, that's right. You're running around 15th place before that caution really shuffled that order. Of course, you coming out the beneficial end on that. Of course, with a big W here for tonight, Christopher Weil leading the last 29 laps. Mostly under yellow, though. Those yellows definitely played to your favor, though.
Yeah, but again, my long run pace was great. And I wish like we could have actually raced for it and I could have really demonstrated that. But I think I was around 6th before those green flag pit stops even started. So there was definitely something there to race for.
Yeah, that is right. Christopher Weil shuffling himself into victory lane here for tonight. Congratulations on the big old W at Atlanta. But before we let you go, any sponsors you want to thank here?
Yeah, I want to thank Schramm Poindexter Motorsports again for putting together a phenomenal team. I want to give a shout out to Corey Long for the Halloween paint scheme last night. I was really disappointed we didn't get the finish that car deserved after running up front for the majority of it. But we made up for it tonight. And I want to finally give a big shout out to one of my biggest fans, Jake Helton, who's always in the sidelines cheering me on.
All right, about 10 for Christopher Weil rounds himself out in victory lane after leading 29 laps out of the scheduled 98. We'll go ahead and see you coming to your next race, bud.
Thanks. See you then.
Christopher Weil in that number 41. We'll go ahead and scoot ourselves back to that number 55 of Brody Garner. And second yet again tonight. 2 days in a row, Brody, but this time no contact during that final lap, but it seems as though just running out of time, especially with those late yellows.
Yeah, I had a really good run on Chris that final lap. Or no, it was with 2 to go. But yeah, got chopped a little bit going into 3. Don't blame Chris, what he had to do, and kind of ruined my run. But yeah, it was good to see Chris win. Sucks I wasn't able to close it out. Or I shouldn't say close it out, but just get the win. Yeah, overall it was a good finish and a good race.
Yeah, what brought you into that position there toward the end? Of course, that race changing caution really shuffled up the order. What was going through your mind there once you saw the caution late in the run?
Yeah, that changed my whole race. I got a speeding penalty before that caution. It kind of delayed my charge towards the front. But yeah, that caution helped me so much, and definitely is what put me into that second place spot. I don't think I was fast enough for second that race, but it was awesome to have that caution, and I was definitely excited when it happened.
Yep, that's right. And shuffle yourself into that top 5 position, and of course, you taking advantage of restarts, worked yourself into second place. Unfortunately, you didn't win it here for tonight, but of course, a solid effort here by that number 55 of Brody Gardner. Congratulations on your second place finish here for tonight. Before we let you go, any sponsors want to thank before we end out tonight?
SPM, Proximity Racing, Blue Chew Americas, Shoot and Do It. I'd like to congratulate Chris, my teammate, on the win. That's all.
All right, about 10 for number 55, Brody Gardner rounds himself out in second place after starting himself all the way back in 20th. Can't wait to talk to you coming post-race, bud.
Thanks.
That was Brody Gardner in number 55. We'll go ahead and scoot ourselves to the side because nobody else is in the booth. Congratulations to our winner, Christopher Weil, in that number 41. But until next time, I got to thank our sponsors, DeNise Designs. Check them out on Facebook.com under Doug DeNise, as well as DeNise Designs as well. But until next time, before we end out tonight's broadcast, Dewey, any last thoughts?
Well, it was a pretty interesting race, especially compared to the caution-free race we had last year, but there was still quite a bit of good racing that we had overall, and I'm honestly surprised we didn't have more cautions than the amount that we did have tonight with the amount of people that were on such a slick track. But overall, it was a pretty good weekend, but not the last time that we'll be at Atlanta, of course, this iSCAR season. In fact, this week we'll be there for the Truck Series, so we'll see even more great racing at Atlanta once again. But got another full week of races slated for you guys here on MSTV. We'll go to for the ARCA Series. We'll be at Chicagoland on Wednesday. Trucks will be at Atlanta here on Friday night. Saturday will give us the Cup Series somewhere. I just had it up. Where'd it go? We're at Dover.
Oh, we're at Dover. So that's going to be interesting.
And the Cup Series will be, or nope, we just said the Cup Series. The Xfinity Series will be back next weekend at Richmond, which we saw for the trucks the other night. So that'll be the 5 we've got, or the 4 we've got for you this week. Be sure to come back and watch those. Until next time, thanks for watching.